Hello there, Dothan Prep Academy. Dear parents, students, and other stakeholders, my name is Crystal Newsom, and I am here to give you guys a little bit more backup and ideas for our virtual Friday this Friday. So we are excited that we get to test out just a little bit of what a virtual day would look like at DPA. So I am going to share some stuff with you guys to get you a little bit more comfortable with what Friday is going to look like. So come on in. Let's take a look at what I'm giving you guys access to with this Google Drive folder that I will share to you in this Facebook post. So as you see, I've created you guys a Google Drive folder that has some materials in it that will help you to kind of talk to your tiger as they are working on their digital day, and also to give you guys some background information about all of the tech things that we do with Google Apps for Education and other platforms here at Dothan Preparatory Academy. So the very first thing I want to show you guys is the Chromebook expectations or norms. So when your student is working on a Chromebook or any piece of tech at Dothan Prep, they are expected to treat it with kindness and caring and respect, just like they would your expensive dishes at home. So they have a graphic right here that they are going to agree to. And those are just a couple of things just to kind of teach them how they should be treating that technology once they take it home. So I gave you guys access to that so you could take a look-see at it. Alrighty, another thing that I gave you guys access to, and this is the big one. So as your student is working on anything to do with Google, I call it our googly things, anything that they're working on that is based with the Google Apps for Education that we're using in the classroom, right here, this is a massive spreadsheet that has every question, every video, every scenario that you could possibly have a question about for your student. So I want you guys to take a look at that. And then I am also taking and turning that into an individualized slideshow that will break it down a little bit more for you guys. So if you are not familiar with a Chromebook and how your student will be using it when they are on their virtual day Friday, you guys could take a look at some of these links because they are all hyperlinked to other outside sources. And then another thing that is going to be super duper important for your kiddos in the classroom, most of our teachers have begun using Google Classroom as our LMS or learning management system. So if you're not familiar with Google Classroom or you haven't ever really looked at it with your student, these are going to be some really, really helpful slides for you guys because it goes through and it has a bunch of screenshots that teaches you exactly what you'll see when you go in as a parent, and then also it will show you what it will look like from your student's perspective. All right, so here's a super duper awesome trick from Newsom. I will suggest that all of you guys right this very instant ask your tech tiger who their homeroom teacher is. I would go ahead and compose an email to that homeroom teacher asking that you be added to their Google Classroom as a parent or guardian. So once that homeroom teacher completes that, then it is in the system for all of us. So anytime your student is working on assignments, you can also, as the parent, receive an email once a week that gives you a synopsis and a summary of what your child is working on, how well they did, what grade they got, and maybe some feedback that your teacher gave your student. All right, so that is a one tech tip that I will give you for Google Classroom. And the second would be for you to also ask your tiger to write down their login information, meaning their login, their email, and then also their password. Because if you guys had further questions or you wanted to look at what their Google Classroom looks like in a lot more detail, then you could just log in as them and you can kind of see a little bit more detail about how that teacher is using Google Classroom on our virtual Friday. All right, also in here, I have a couple of other things. This one right here is directly from Google Apps for Education, and that just gives you an idea of what Google has created with Google Apps for Education, and it would probably clear up any question that you would have. All right, so as you guys are looking through this stuff, if you guys have any other further questions, I will absolutely tell you to reach out to our social media profile. You can go and send a message, and it will send me a personal email, and I will try to talk you guys through it, either through an email, or I can also jump into a Google Meet and clear some things up for you guys. If you guys need to email me, it is crnewsom without an E on the end. So it's crnewsom at dothan.k12.al.us. All right, parents, let's take and look at what I'm going to be sending your students. All right, you awesome tech tigers, let's take a look from your perspective what you guys will see in the Google Drive folder that I'm sending you. So right here, you see that I created a DPA student Google Drive folder that I will be sharing on social media, and I will also send it to you guys teachers so that they can give you guys viewing access as well. So for you guys, if you have any questions whatsoever about any of our Google Apps for Education that you may possibly be using in your classes, I have given you guys access to the same spreadsheet that your parents are going to see, and then also that your teachers are going to have access to as well. So if you have your science class that they've asked you to create an infographic or a picture about an atom, just as an example, then you would have all of the instructions right here of how to create a Google drawing and then how to download it and attach it into Google Classroom. So if you guys are 0% familiar with any of the Google Apps for Education platforms, then you have a cheat sheet right here that they're all hyperlinked, and they will send you to either a video tutorial or an article that teaches you how to do that. All right, let's take a look at another thing that I sent you guys. I also sent you guys, just like your parents, the access to your Chromebook expectations. So when you guys are in your homeroom or you're working virtually on your Chromebook or any other piece of DPA tech, you guys need to treat it with kindness, care, and responsibility and respect. So make sure that you guys take a look at that and know what you need to do as far as working on your Chromebook at home. All right, let's say you guys are not super familiar with Google Classroom. I also have included a Google Classroom cheat sheet for students. So let's say you're in a class and you forget how to attach something. So you have completed a Google Slides, you worked with another student in your class, and you guys are about to present. If you forget how you need to turn that into Google Classroom, you can go right here. I'll teach you the hot button key to where you can find that. You will hit Control F. That will bring up the little find feature, and then you could add in attach, and that will search that PDF for where you can find that information. All right, Tigers, I absolutely think it would be a brilliant, brilliant idea for you guys to take and save this cheat sheet to your Google Drive so that you guys can see it again. And if you don't already have a Google Drive folder for all of your schoolwork for this year, I'm going to personally suggest and advocate for that so that you can keep up with all your materials. Because even if you guys are in the 7th grade right now, you will need all of this Google stuff over and over and over again every year. And I know when you guys log into your Google Drive, it may look a little bit hairy and a little bit messy. So if you start organizing it now in the 7th grade, by the time you are a senior and you're trying to look for things to add into your scholarship applications, you'll have everything super duper neat in your Google Drive. And I am creating another personalized video that goes along with that topic that I will be posting here on social media and also sending to you guys teachers. So we've got that one knocked out. Now let's take a look-see at your Google Meet. So Friday, that is going to be one of the main ways that you guys are going to connect with your teachers. This is just a very, very silly graphic that I use in my class. So all of these things are going to be extremely, extremely important in a virtual setting. Because when you are in the classroom, your teacher can immediately see that it is you that is not doing something correctly. In a virtual setting, it's a lot more difficult to make sure that everybody is on task, or not even more difficult, it just looks a little bit different. So these are all of the things that you guys need to make sure that you really do and make your teachers proud on our virtual learning day Friday. If your teacher asks you as soon as you get in that Google Meet to mute yourself, I need you guys to make sure that you do that. We're going to be learning how to appropriately respond to all of your comments in your Google Meet, and then be able to unmute yourself and then possibly share your screen. So let's say you're in a class and you just created a project and your teacher is asking you to present it through that Google Meet. We're going to need to know how to do that properly and respectfully. So take a look at that graphic. It's also being sent to you guys, teachers. All right, another super duper important thing in my classroom, since we are a computer-based class that I am teaching live, but we also do everything with computers. One thing that has become really, really big and critical for me is emailing with my students every single day and us having that communication back and forth. So some of you guys may not know, but an email is going to be extremely, extremely different than you just texting your friends or even emailing your friends. So I, in my class, have gone through with my students a lesson on email etiquette and how that would look different if you are emailing your best friend versus your teacher. So when you guys are creating emails, if you have a question for a teacher, this will show you a little bit more about why we need to treat that a little bit differently than it would be you just sending a text message and adding in things like BTW, LOL, BRB. Those things are not things that you're going to want to include in an email. So I have this as a reference that you guys can take a look at. And parents, if you guys would like to see this, you absolutely can. I'm giving you guys access to this drive folder as well. And then if you wanted to take and practice this to make sure that you are doing it right, I have an example there for you at the very end that you would certainly not want to email your teacher and just say, why do I have a bad grade? I've done everything, please help. You would want to do it a lot more respectfully, like the one on the left. If you guys want to test that out and see if it works and see if you are emailing correctly, then feel free to do this practice example right here that I've used with my students. If you want to take and try to send me an email to see if you are doing it correctly, please do so. I would love to connect with you and to read your emails and tell you that you're doing a great job. My email is crnewsome@dothan.k12.al.us. All right, so that is how you will take and email your teacher appropriately. All right, another thing that I'm going to start adding in here for both parents and for students will be some more personalized videos of what you may see your virtual Friday learning day look like, because depending on your teachers and the content that they teach, their Friday may look a little bit differently. So I'm going to start adding in some videos, both in this DPA student folder as well as the one for the parents. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I've gone through right now, or anything that pops up, absolutely reach out to me through the social media platform and just send me a message, or you guys can take and email me and I will get back with you as soon as possible. If you need a little bit more help about something specifically that you need to know how to do for one of your classes, feel free to just send me an email, and then we can jump in a Google Meet when I'm not actively teaching and we can troubleshoot and get it all figured out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm extremely, extremely excited about seeing what our virtual day is going to look like. Your teachers are working really, really hard to make some lessons that are going to really pop and really be special, authentic experiences. So I, for one, cannot wait to see all of your teachers start emailing me pictures and videos of what you guys are doing. And also, I would love for you guys to send me some pictures and videos of what you're doing at home on our virtual learning day, because I would love to share out and show social media what all great, awesome, wonderful things that we are doing here at Dothan Preparatory Academy. that about wraps up everything that I'm going to share with you guys right now. Let me know how I can help you. And other than that, I will catch you guys on the flip side. And I hope you have a fantastic virtual Friday. Bye, y'all.